And the shutdown was the first order of business for new Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi. She was easily elected Speaker, even though more than a dozen Democrats voted against her. Phil Mateer and I asked former San Francisco Mayor Willie Brown what that move tells us about Pelosi and the Democrats.
That tells you Nancy Pelosi is as practical as she's always been. Everybody who cast a vote in that fashion got permission.
You can bet. I mean, 22 people initially said they were not going to vote for her under any circumstances. In the end, only 15 did. She managed to get 7. She managed to get exactly the vote she needed to win and give the other people a pass. Other people who made promises to their constituency, they are allowed to say, okay, I didn't vote for Nancy, but she could still claim victory.
What does that say about her style?
That says that she is constantly going to be a winner. And believe me, you don't want to challenge her, because you have no idea at what point it's going to blow up in your face.
Well, I think the president now, I mean, so far between the House and the Senate, they haven't really been sending things through to the White House, haven't really been putting uncomfortable questions to the president. But now, day one, we are seeing that begin with these 2 new bills, laying it right in the lap of the president, saying, what are you going to do? That's going to be new.
What is your reaction to, I noticed that Trump hasn't called her any names. I mean,
well,
that might sound small, but he usually labels somebody negatively whenever he's in a spat.
He has more respect for Nancy than I think he has for any other woman ever.
I think he's scared of her.
That's right. And the point is, he does not want to end up being a Nancy Pelosi victim. Everybody that has challenged her has become a graveyard occupant.
Every time he goes out and starts to try and talk, even just the other day when he held his impromptu press conference, he began by saying, congratulations, Nancy Pelosi, looking forward to working with you. He never talks about anyone like that.
Do you think he's serious that at this midterm point that he might be serious about saying, let us try to change the tone, or what?
He's serious when he makes those statements. And it means he may not keep it because 2 seconds later, he may have a different idea. This guy is the most flexible, committed human being I've ever seen.
So a lot of that incoming class, I mean, maybe feel like they have a mandate or a demand by their constituents for change, for impeachment, for things that she may not want to rush to. How does she kind of keep that coalition together?
Well, she tries to do things like say, let's ask for more information. Let's wait till the Mueller investigation comes out. And so not to say, no, we're definitely not going to do that, but to sort of slow walk some of these things, which is something you can definitely do in a committee system where it's based on seniority, right? So the older members, the people who've been there the longest, are going to be in the chairman or chairwoman positions. They don't necessarily need to bring things through that the newer folks need to do. So there are ways to sort of clog it up a bit without saying, absolutely not, kids, we're not doing it. And turning now to California Senator Dianne Feinstein. Now, she recently gave an impromptu endorsement of Joe Biden for president in 2020. So Phil and I asked former San Francisco Mayor Willie Brown if he was surprised by the move.
Yes, I was surprised. So early in the game, you ordinarily don't do it that soon. But that just shows you how Dianne really isn't with it when it comes to just pure, unadulterated, calculated politics. Well,
because if it was calculated, it certainly looks like what my husband would call the brushback pitch to Kamala Harris, who is, as we stand here, thinking about whether or not to jump into the race. Is this a message to her, you're too new here in the Senate? If she's being super earnest, maybe not, but that's certainly something that you could interpret.
Okay, how deep is the support for Biden? On one hand, I hear that there are traditional Democrats that say, okay, he would be the quote-unquote reasonable alternative to Donald Trump. The other says, no, he's too old, his day has come and gone.
Well, that's those same people that embrace 77-year-old Bernie Sanders, too. They said the same thing. You understand, however, that Biden really is the guy that should have been the candidate when Hillary was. And now the question is, will he still be as relevant come 20 as he is today? I don't know, but it's a shot.
Well, one thing that is not surprising about the Feinstein endorsement or, sort of announcement that she's with Biden is that they're both fairly moderate Democrats. And so they're going to run into this issue of is he to the left enough to get support of the very, very active members of the party? So not surprising, but that's going to be a challenge for him, is his sort of moderate history.
And Biden, luckily for him, is a brand without carrying the Clintons with him, the Gores with him, or any of that. He's a unique Democratic brand.
Now, what about a Biden-Harris ticket?
that's something that may be able to work. I mean, it seems like it's pretty clear that among Democrats, they don't want to nominate sort of two people from the same mold. They want a diverse ticket. And so having a woman, a minority, would be something that I think people would look upon really fondly. But as opposed to like a Biden O'Rourke ticket, which I think some people would say, wait a minute, we're missing an opportunity here to add some diversity to our ticket. So I mean, we'll see.
Yeah,
she's supposed to announce soon.
Different, interesting optics, those two together. That's my prediction. Write that down. Mark it down.
All right, noted.
So